Alright, first off, I'd like to say our praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways, pushing this word in our sincerity and truth. This is the brother Ira from the GMS Jamaica camp, GMS Intellect once more, and shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways, pushing this work in our sincerity and truth. Now, the name of this lesson is going to be Nate and Company are state religions, not Hebrew Israelites, right? And the reason why we say this, well, take a look upon the whole terms or the whole point of them getting this 501c3, or the whole essence behind the 501c3 charter, right? So with no further ado, let's go into the lesson. I have an article, and let's try and make this as short as possible, Lord willing, right? So this is from the Centron Creation Liberty.com, right? And it basically have an article on the 501c3 charter. It says the Devil's Church, right? It says a 501c3 corporation is a non-profit organization that gains a tax exempt status under Section 501c in the U.S. Internal Revenue Code 526 USC 501c, right? Now it says many types of clubs and groups are eligible for 501c3 incorporated status, but Part 3 is developed for religious, educational and charitable entities, right? So, and for the 501c3 charter is not only for religion, but also clubs and certain companies. That's why I say it all depends upon what agenda them have to pull, because it all shows say how it all work in benefit of the government. When you have a 501c3 charter, basically the government become your god. The government become the one who direct things. Them are the one we follow, right? Because you join yourself onto them, as in you incorporate yourself to them, right? Now let's go down a little further, and it says Kite goes on to list facts about what a 501c3 church corporation is by lawful state definition, right? So they must say where they start where the state basically define them as are the agreements, right? It says the creator of a corporation is the creator of the corporation is the state. So that means say once you become a corporation under the 501c3 charter, and the state authorized that, right? Them create it. Now the Lord create the earth. That means that him run it, right? So if them say the state will create this, that means that the state will run it, plain and straight, right? The state is the sole authority and sovereign head over the corporation. See that? Continue that's self-explanatory. The corporation is subject to the laws of the state, which limits its power. So now you see why Nate teach or him teach. Now you see why Nate preach or him preach. Now you see why Nate push certain agenda, or why him leave out certain things out of the doctrine, right? It says the corporation has no constitutionally protected rights. Now the freedom of speech thing, right, and things like them there, that now apply to them, because basically what them do, them give up them constitutional rights, right? So them can't speak as though them would want to speak. Them basically them not free anymore. Although they were free from first, but the so-called freedom where they proclaim, or the privileges where they have under the constitution, it no longer applies when you go under the 501c3. Yo. So you have to work with whatever the government say, or whatever direction them work towards, right? The corporation is an artificial person. See it? Just like the straw man and natural man, yo. The straw man basically are the one where basically the inner the system or work according to the system goals and laws. While the natural man would have been like the free man. Right? The corporation submits The corporation submits to a state charter declaring it is a creature of the state. Right? Read that again. The corporation submits to a state charter declaring it is a creature of the state. So whatever charter the state have up or uphold, them have to work with it. Hence, you know, the United States is a key player in the whole assembly of the United Nations. So that's why you have them say the rape doctrine, them human rights and women rights, children rights, and love your children and love this and love that. Because when I really look into it, the whole thing is about humanism, yo, or secularism. If you are going at that after we go through this information. And that's the whole point that, yo, we actually have people are go the way of the state, because when you have the 501c3, you can't speak out against the state and you can't speak out against the public, because the politicians want the favor of the public. Now the public mixed with all different type of people, gays, homosexuals, all different type of religions and way of life and things like that, and them want to get the support of the whole public, right? So because of that, them want to seek favor from the public, so them not going to speak out against the public. That's why in the first state with the secularism, it means a separation from government and state. Because if you have a government who basically go according to church laws, then they know say they would get support from the from homosexuals, they would get support from certain people where the Bible basically condemn, right? Or whatever religion if you say the state under Judaism or Muslim or any time that they would basically pick one side and go against another side, right? So they want to seem so-called neutral, but they want to be on top, and they want to fit them agenda where they make it like say they want everybody upon par. That's why they tell you say they have to do things that benefit the public, because that's what the government want. As much as them wicked, they want to make it seem as if them with the public. So once you're with the whole public, you can't speak against homosexuals because them are part of the public. You can't speak against women because them are part of the public. So you have to try extend to everybody's needs, right? And that's where the whole human rights and the UN Charter and human rights and all them things. That's the whole point of the whole image of the beast, yo, right? Now it says the corporation is created for the benefit of the public. That's why they must say you can't hate the 2/3, and they must say you can't talk about the women like that. You can't talk about you're gonna rape women. You can't talk about snatching up women and all of that, because that one, when they speak against the 2/3, they speak against them human rights. When they speak against or when they put women in them proper perspective by saying them under the man, that so-called woman rights diminish, right? So and not only Nate, as we say, Nate and company, because ISUPK said the same thing. Them say, if they don't care if a nigga steal, that don't give the cops the right to shoot them down. While in the law it tell us, thou shall not steal. If in there follow the ways of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, then he wouldn't have a situation for the cops to run him down, much less for shoot him, yo. But for sure, say them partial with judgment, because them say, you can't hate the 2/3, you have to love your women, love your children. Nobody never say enough to love your women and love your children, but at the same time, you have to put them in order. And it means that one is above the other. There's no such thing as equal rights for or everybody upon the same level. No. And that is why them not tackle homosexual topics as much, like hit out against the homosexuals. That's why them not condemn overall. That's why the only people them talk against are GMS, because GMS talk about everybody, but you never have IUIC speak against ISUPK. You now have 14th Street Homo talk shit about IUIC or ISUPK, because what? All of them go by the same agenda. All of them say, look here, you can't hit the 2/3. All of them say you can't talk down about the women, because that are the two main things that get pushed by the UN, women rights, children rights, and human rights, right? So that are the vibration that them under, and that are where the state push. So them with the state, them know with Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the state of them God. the state the state laws are what them go according to. Right? That's why everybody come up against James, because we preach the truth. We cut against everything what the scripture cut against you. Oh, it says the corporation is a state franchise. The corporation is a privilege granted by the state. Now, once you start speak against the state, or once you start push certain doctrine, once you preach or even the name, for example, you're gonna lose the the status, the tax exempt status, because once if you are preaching how about Shemi Shai, you state a power out or you acknowledge a power outside of the state where you say I go rule. So once you speak that, you speak against the state, you speak about a revolution against the state. That's why them don't push Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, because them work in accordance to the common doctrine, basically, as in Jesus love everything. That's why them push Jesus Christ, and that's why them under the whole women are ever vibration, because when you look on that, only women alone overly compassionate, yo. Only women alone overly compassionate. Only women alone would I say, yo, faggots are humans too, and children this, and everybody deserve to do what they want. That is a woman's spirit, yo. That's why them the Queen of Heaven worship with them basically get feminized, yo. Them get soft and weak. But that's the whole thing. Them can't speak, them can't push certain, because if them push a how about Shemi Shy and please say them come back, come reign and rule and all of that, and push the right name in the right context, you need to talk about, yo. Them all lose them status. And at the same them show you say all even the money go up to the Vatican when they do the research. I'm sure you say the Vatican have a huge role to play even in many of these religions, yo. Because the thing with Islam and the Catholic Church have in common basically is the same doctrine. Both of them preach one main thing, yo. Islam preach about the Messiah, right? Which is the same thing as the same word as Mashiach, meaning Christ, meaning the anointed. And Nate push Christ, right? The Islam and they currently have a book, the book of Mary, and basically in the Roman Catholic Church them put Mary as this divine being, or this so-called special woman, right? Or put her up on a high stool as a deity who people worship. Hence the flora fleur de lis, right? Fleur de lis. The crown with the little flower in the middle, yo. That represents the Catholic Church. And when I look up on them big organizations here, where have the 501c3, most of them, if not all, have the fleur de lis upon them, whether religious or non-religious. And if we go for sure, say all even the church and the so-called non-profitable organization like the charity thing, like where them build soup kitchen and all that, because them have to benefit the public. IUIC do the same. All of them will have a 501c3 charters do that. Even the church, right? Even if you realize, we see some charity advertisement with like the some big time players or some famous celebrity push about food for the poor, or donation for this or donation for that. Them always are them say don't beat women, or some of them advertise the chip or something like that. Because guess what? Them not gonna ever speak against the state, because them have the 501c3 charter, right? And them for them name they underneath it in a some way, shape or form, whether for them own organization or one sponsor, we are sponsor them like Gillette or some of them big companies here have a donation or charity group where basically, because them signed to the to the sponsor, if them speak like that, they might make it like the sponsor basically not for human rights. So that's why when they see certain players do certain things or make certain speech, them lose them sponsor and them lose them contract, because whosoever sponsor them have a 501c3 and basically them go against the charter in some way, shape or form. right? Tiger Woods go down just because they make it like say he's a womanizer, which is against women rights. The football player that were basically rough up in woman in an elevator lose again, right? And you see time and time again with certain speech, certain actors or certain famous people make certain speech and talk, and them lose, yo. Them they lose them contracts and lose everything because what? They must go against the natural order how things how them want them things to go. It's simple as that, right? So yeah. So we're to push the point about the fleur de lis, right? This I have two short articles. It says the fleur de lis, also known as the lily of France, as one of the most controversial histories of any symbol. Standard heraldical historians claim it is originated in the 10th century as a symbol of sovereignty and was later adopted as an emblem of French King Louis the Seventh. Slovakia. It is believed to take the shape of the lily of Irish and is a symbol and is to symbolize Mary and the Holy Trinity, right? So when I go down in it, tell us say even before that they have the Greeks, the Romans, the Celtics, and people of all even go back to Egypt where I'm sure is a thing to do with fertility and purity, which them they are things where usually where I say used to symbolize things that pertaining to women, we show say we all come down to the women worship, right? And the second article basically says the same thing. It says with its pure immaculate white petals, it is also known as Madonna lily. In addition to Lily Mary, is also associated with the rose, right? So it shows say even the church they take it on for that purpose, for attribute it to Mary. That's why Nate have it in him back upon him garment, because him have to show us look him have to show us him under the Roman Catholic, him have to show us him with the system, right? So I go a little bit longer than I expect, but that's the final piece. So we're gonna look up at the word secularity, right? We'll go back to secular. It says secularity, from Latin secularis, meaning worldly or temporal, right? It is the state of being separate from religion or not being exclusively allied with or against any particular religion. So basically, when they must make it like they must say right now we're not really with certain people, but then again we're not really against. That's why even General Gehenna say him not hate white them not hate white people, but God hate white people. That's why I make that statement there, because the thing about it is them with the state, because the state not gonna pay tax to itself. So once you're a part of the state, you can't basically be allied with or against anybody in particular. That's why them don't speak out against nothing or nobody, right? Because them a part of the state, and being a secular state, meaning that you is basically you're not a church, you're not a religion, you're the state. So as we say, them are state religions. You're not Hebrew Israelites, right? Plain and straight. It says, for instance, eating and bathing, it says again, example, may be regarded as examples of secular activities, because there may not be anything inherently religious about them. Nevertheless, both eating and bathing are regarded as sacraments in some religious traditions, and therefore would be religious activities in those worldviews. Saying a prayer derived from religious texts or doctrine, worshipping through the context of a religion, and attending a religious school are examples of religious non-secular activities, right? So that I will the whole point at you, we show say them with the state, and all of this I go back in the image of the beast here, where basically this whole human rights and do what thou will thing here, where everybody free for them want to do. Democracy. Right? That is the whole point of it all. Right? So, as you say, them man Hebrew Israelites, so that's why them don't go back to customs with heritage and things like that. And they should even go for sure, say, even them schools here where I say the picnic, that's why them teach about homosexuality and about how anal sex and all them shit there, where them push through the schools and with the book and Satanism and all of that, because what? Them make it like say, them for everybody. Right? You make it look like say, and the same thing. And when you look up the word secular, it says has at least two meanings: separate from religion and a periodic. Right? So basically, them as we say, really and truly, them now worship Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Them just worship the state. That's what they need them all about. Nothing more, nothing less. That's why I never have them speak out against the 2/3. That's why I now see them put them on women in order. That's why I say them now them run from the history, them run from the word meaning, them run from the ancient words, the ancient ways. That's why them don't go back to the ancient ways here, because what? Them not a part of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Them with the state. Them have them own agenda. Right? So with that, I'm just bring out two precepts. Okay, I'll close it out the precept. This is Matthew 6 verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to one and despise the other. He cannot serve God and mammon. And that's the whole thing with Nate them, yo. Them hold to the state and despise Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, because them not preaching word in a sincerity and truth. Them deliberately a leader of Israel, yo. And this so 1 Corinthians 10 verse 21. Ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils. Do we provoke the Lord to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? And it go for sure say, yo, them are enemy of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, yo. Them are commit idolatry. Because as we say, the state of them God. So them need to have a lot to answer the Lord about, yo. And most I jack him up on the whole congregation, yo. Because what? Them will be wicked. And this 2 Corinthians 6 verse 16. And what agreement at the temple of God with idols? For ye are the temple of the living power. As God had said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them and be separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. And how you separate from them, yo? How you don't have an agreement with them or with the idol? By going in the old parts, yo. By doing what is required. Search the scriptures and serve the most in sincerity and truth, yo. Deal with the 100% truth. Don't take out some things or try water down the doctrine, yo. He said take her, and I mean take her, yo. He said 2/3 going to get put to death, then going to get put to death. It's simple as that. Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. So with that, we hope you brothers were edified. Like to say our praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Lord one to the apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways, pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. Shalom.